Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's JamBox. We're here. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And with that being said, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Oolong Passion, a uniquely fruity tea with tropical blends of oolong, passion fruit, blood orange, lemongrass, and coconut. The Brothers Apothecary. Fine teas and remedies. All right, thank you all so much for watching. Again, shout out The Brothers Apothecary. Make sure to click the link below and go check them out. I guarantee you're going to like it. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
What's up, y'all? My name's Cyclone.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, where you're from, what you do, give us that Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
I'm from Portland, Oregon. I'm an alternative punk hip hop artist.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And what got you into music initially?
When I was younger, I always liked rock music and was around the festivals and stuff. So I was always into it. Yeah.
Cool. And was anybody in your household musical, or you the first musical artist?
My stepmom, when I was younger, actually taught me how to play the drums.
Oh, cool.
That's where I got into percussion and
stuff. Cool. Yeah. Stepmom. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Does she play as well?
Yeah, she used to be in a band actually.
Whoa. Hell yeah.
Pretty sick.
Is any of her band's music online anywhere?
I'm not sure. They disbanded a while ago.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Hopefully if it's available somewhere, we can check it out. If you find out afterwards, let me know and I'll put it on the screen.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then what was some of the early music you remember listening to, especially if they were already kind of in it?
Ooh, I was really into I was really into rock, so Shinedown and 3 Days Grace and System of a Down.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, those are my really good rock bands that I listened to. And then I got into Lil Peep and Juice WRLD and all of them when I got older.
Okay, I think that. Oh, yeah. Now, for this next question, we have a couple that we ask just kind of as format questions for everybody. And this first one, it's one we ask early, it's one we ask often, and it's definitely a crowd favorite. What was the first album you ever bought with your own money?
The first album I ever bought with my own money? It was by this band called Bubba Flex.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, they're from Ohio. Mm-hmm. And it was an album called Bury Me With My Guns On.
Damn, that's a cool name.
It's pretty sick.
And what made you want to get that album?
Because they were one of the first shows I've ever been to.
Oh, well, you just answered the next question. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what made you want to go to that show?
Because they were around my stepmom, actually. She was really into photography. Mm-hmm. She took pictures of bands and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And she hung around them, and they were uncles to me, kind of, and hung around me when I was younger and kind of brought me up in the music scene.
Oh, that's awesome. It's cool. It sounds like she was pretty involved in the music, and just music in general.
Yeah.
A lot of fashions. And it's cool that she was able to introduce you to a lot of it as well.
Most definitely.
Oh, yeah. And then before we move on to the more current stuff, do you have a defining moment where you decided you wanted to take music more seriously?
Yeah. So last year, my ex OD'd and died. So I decided I wanted to dive into it and push my music out because I was going through a lot and just carry a memory on.
Oh yeah. That's definitely an admirable reason to do it.
Yeah.
But now let's go ahead and let's get on into you in the current day.
Yeah.
And we're going to get a super easy one out of the way. How'd you pick the name?
Honestly, I was just thinking and out of thin air, and I was just because I was going, my name used to be The Jester. Mm-hmm. Then I switched it to Jay's Humble Walk. Mm-hmm. Then I was that's just too long. So I was
fair, yeah.
Sounds pretty fire.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, no, I dig that.
Yeah.
I mean, phonetically, it's very easy. You know, everybody's gonna know how to spell it. It looks cool.
Yep,
It's definitely got a lot going for it.
Yeah, and the appearance on like merch would look pretty cool too.
Yeah, hell yeah, I dig that.
Oh yeah.
And then let's talk about your writing process.
Yeah.
And we're gonna break it up into chunks, but we're gonna start right at the beginning.
Okay.
So when you get inspired, you're ready to make music.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you do to get a track started?
Well, how I get a track started was like I'm a freestyler. Like that's I freestyle my songs because like it's off like top of the head and it's like pure. And then after I freestyle them, I write them out to try to like put in the errors that like I messed up and like rewrite it so it sounds better in like certain parts. Okay. And then rearrange it, and then it turns out to be a song.
Yeah. And do you like record at home? Do you have your own home setup, or how do you go about like playing it back?
Currently right now I've been looking for a lot of producers. Okay. And I've just started like in the rap scene, so like I'm 19 and I'm pretty young. So like I have like a miniature home studio type thing, but it's kind of janky, so it's like not the best quality.
I mean, I think a good home setup is good for writing. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to have like millions of dollars of studio equipment at your house just to get the ideas out. Right. And I mean, back in the day, people used to do it on like tape recorders. Just hit and like have to go back and like wait for it to rewind and re-listen to it. So like, I think anything to get it going. I mean, I remember when I was in one of my first bands, we had like a laptop that somebody's mom was getting rid of. Oh yeah. And Audacity, which was free. And we had one of those little 1/8 inch to like handheld mics. Yeah. And I think we got it for like $20. Like you could do a lot with nothing as long as you're like trying hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of like what my setup's at. I'm like, I have like a handheld mic and like that's how I'll be recording my music right now.
Yeah, that's all right. It's just good practice for when you go live.
For real.
And sticking with your writing process for a moment though, when you get a track finished, how long does it usually take you to feel comfortable performing it?
Honestly, I could perform like after a week. Okay. Yeah, because like once I finish it, I fascinate over it, and like I just want to like, because it's like how I'm feeling in the moment. I'm just like wanting to tune it to like the best as I can possibly get it to like, because like I'm just trying to capture this vibe that like is so prominent in this song like right away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, I know you've only been in this style for not a long amount of time. Yeah. But like, how has your process changed from when you got started doing this style of music to now?
I definitely can see like a progress because like, I started out just freestyling with the homies and just like, I'd like smoke sessions and stuff. And it wasn't the best, but like after a while it progressed and like I started actually coming up with stuff that people, kind of related to and like so
yeah, and being able to like interject your own topics and things, I imagine.
Yeah, and like kind of relate to people's emotions.
Oh yeah, I dig that. Yeah. And then, looking at your sound, because I mean, especially even though you haven't been doing it for very long, I mean, you just put out your first EP about a week ago. Yeah. And I mean, it's got a cool sound to it. It's called Castaways. Yep. Solid for sure. But when I was listening to your stuff, I really digged Liddy. Yeah, that was a cool track. And you have a very like melodic feel to your sound. Yeah, which I think is really cool. Like a lot of people that they'll lean into it more, but like either they lean into a lot of like the over processing and things like that. But you definitely have a bit of cadence kind of built in, right. And I really like your like vocal layers just from what I heard of your tracks. Yeah, but I'm curious to know, what is your favorite song to perform?
My favorite song to perform is probably when I was the Jester, and I still trying to implement some of the songs from the Jester to Cyclone, so I can like kind of re-upload it, but under Cyclone. But I would have to say it's called Tweaking. It's about like drug addiction and like how it feels like when like when you're going through it.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it about that? What is like, is there a certain aspect of the song that you enjoy? Like, do people get extra hyped during parts? Do you get super hyped? What is about the song you enjoy performing?
It's just a super like real feel song. Okay. Like, it kind of really dives into my brain, like how I feel about like, when like going through issues and like problems and like how to get through it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I dig that. Now, looking at, let's step back for a moment. looking back at music in general, especially because, you transitioned from a genre to a different genre completely, that, they are starting to intersect now, but definitely for a while they didn't really.
Yeah.
What are some things about music currently that you enjoy? What are some of the attributes or the changes in music that you're really enjoying?
I'm enjoying the collaborations that we're having with new artists. From I'm definitely enjoying the fact that we're having rock and rap implemented more, and how we're having more groups come out with songs like that. And yeah, it's just overall just really inspiring to see it.
Yeah.
Because I grew up with rock and listening to rap with all my friends. It's dang, now I can try to implement both of the things I like together.
Yeah. And do you play any instruments at all other than I know you said you got taught drums in the beginning. Do you still do that now?
I would like to. I just don't have a drum set currently. I mean, I know how to play a little bit of everything a little bit because I play it based off of my hearing, my ear.
Okay.
So.
But do you don't have access to a guitar or bass or anything like that?
No, not currently.
Yeah. Well, somebody get this man a guitar. Let's make it happen.
For real.
Oh yeah. And then this is probably the densest question in the interview.
Okay.
But I'm definitely just kind of based off of your answers. I feel like it's going to be an interesting one for sure. We've talked about, what music does for you, your interactions, your reactions and things like that. But when it's just you and music one-on-one, what does it give back to you?
It gives me the ability to live, honestly. I'm the type of person that struggles with a lot of mental health, and all my life I've only connected to music, and when I never had when I didn't have friends, that was the only thing that was there for me. So the amount of love that I have when I put into my songs and really dive into how I feel is the amount of love that I feel that I get back. That was the love that I was missing. Damn.
That was a really deep answer.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. That's that was really honest and vulnerable. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
And I feel I think that music fills a space for a lot of us in certain ways, and for those of us who are lucky enough to be able to create music, I think it just kind of adds something a little bit extra. And well, thank you again. That was a really powerful answer.
Of course.
Now let's go ahead and let's move on to some hypothetical questions.
Okay.
And for these, sky's the limits. They're all made up, so the answers are allowed to be as well. But this first one's pretty straightforward.
Oh, yeah?
If you could work with any one person, the only requirement is they have to be alive. Who would you want to work with, and how would you want to work with them?
Lord Lawrence.
Oh, hey, shout out Lord Lawrence. See, I think that would technically be the answer to the second question.
Yes.
So let's pick one more person. Let's like in the whole world. Who?
In the whole world, I would have to probably say Face Yoda.
Okay.
Face Yoda or Yoda Bands.
Okay, hell yeah. Interesting answer for sure. I could dig that.
Because I just feel the real feel behind those songs, and I just feel I could connect with them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I dig that. And now, like I said, subsequently, the second question is usually who's local that you would want to work with. And, shout out to Lord Lawrence, for sure, a friend of the show. What makes you want to work with him?
I'm a good friends with one of his friends, actually. That's a photographer named who's also named Jimmy, actually.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Shout out Jimmy.
Yeah. He actually used to be my my sponsor.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So he told me about Lord Lawrence and them, and I looked into Lord Lawrence, and he just his upcoming, and his it looks like his kind of life is kind of similar to how my upcoming was, and it sounds it was cool that it sounded like he was a foster kid or something, and I've been through the same stuff, same struggles, so.
Hell yeah. He's got an episode a little ways back from here if you want to check it out and get to know him a little better.
Hell yeah.
But no, I mean, he's definitely a super solid dude, and his grind is unmatched in a lot of ways. So yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody at Lord Lawrence in the comments, let's make that happen. He's a pretty accessible dude. I think he would be interested in that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And then for this next question, like I said before, sky's the limits, and it's pretty literal in this sense.
Okay.
But if you could perform anywhere in the world, and you wouldn't have to worry about crowd access or building stability or power, is guaranteed the best lineup, guaranteed the best show. And it doesn't have to be a venue. It can be anywhere. Where would you want to perform?
On top of Grand Canyon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is there like a specific spot? Because it's pretty long.
Like I want to like find like a peak that's like one of the highest points where you could like look like out and like see the view.
Okay.
Like, you perform where people are watching and can see the view behind you.
Yeah.
And like that would be pretty sick to have lights and stuff and like fog machines and like, yeah.
See, I think it would be cool to do a stage that was suspended across the whole thing.
Ooh.
So it's just kind of floating there.
Hell yeah.
You know, in the world of this question, that would work. But that would be dope just to be like there and everybody can kind of see you on it, or like they're standing on either side and you're just floating in the middle.
Hell yeah, that would be lit.
That would be wild.
Yeah.
That would definitely be a cool spot. Have you ever been to the Grand Canyon?
No, but I've been to Arizona before.
Okay, so you know of it.
Yeah.
Definitely something you should go check out.
Most definitely.
Oh, yeah. And then to wrap up the hypothetical questions, if you could get one more album from anybody, they could be alive, they could be dead, they could have not put out an album in 100 years, they could have not put out an album until yesterday. Who would you want an album from?
I would want another album from Gorillaz.
Damn it, that's such a good answer. That's an answer I've said before.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I was just listening to Demon Days today, and I'm just like, they're due for something soon.
Yes, my favorite song is the Pink Phantom by like them and like I think it's Black.
Yeah.
And I forgot, but. Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs. I've just been jamming out to that recently.
Wait, wasn't that the one with Black and Elton John?
Yes, yeah, Elton John.
Yeah, there we go. I was like, I know which one.
Yeah.
It was such a it was such a good album that came out during such a not great time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
and it was like such good artists just coming to like that's a song that just like it's too good just to happen, honestly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think many other people aside from Gorillaz could have made it happen.
Yeah,
I mean, like
exactly.
Their reach is just so it's so unique.
Yeah,
like they have had so many things in so many places, and like even came from such cool spaces to begin with.
Hell yeah,
that super solid answer. I definitely appreciate that. But all right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start wrapping this up. What can we look forward to between, let's say, now and September?
Ooh, there's going to be a lot of events popping up in Portland. And I'm going to be releasing an album on the 8th.
Oh, okay.
Which is on the Solar Eclipse.
Yeah. So that'll be in a few days from when this comes out. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Do you have a name for it yet?
The Outcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then for this next one, go ahead and look straight at the camera and tell everybody how they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at its_Cyclone. On YouTube, its_Cyclone, and yeah.
Oh yeah. And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to put on while you're on here?
Nah.
All right. Fair. It's an on-the-spot question. All right. Now, we've got one last question to go.
Okay.
Before we do, I'm going to steal the camera for just a second. As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And one more shout out to the Brothers Apothecary. Make sure to click the link below and go check them out. I guarantee you're going to like it. And with that being said, the final question. And this is entirely up to your interpretation.
Okay.
But what is an album you feel is more on the obscure side? So it's a deep cut. Not a lot of people would know it, but it's one you think everybody should know.
Shout out to Black Coffee. They're a local band out in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
And they got an album called Hurricane.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
And it's super rad. Like it gets deep with like you know how it feels to like go through like a relationship with like a girl like cheating on you type shit.
Gotcha. Hell yeah. Well, definitely everybody go check that out for sure. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get up on out of here. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course.
Yeah. This has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's JamBox. I'm Jimmy.
I'm Cyclone.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap.
This is not a podcast. This is a show.
Keep jamming.